Hi everybody, it's Chef Nicole from Meals Without Madness here on behalf of the Kitchener Market to share with you another midweek recipe. Tonight I'm going to be sharing one of my favorite recipes. Well, let's be honest, all of these recipes I share with you are my favorite, but what I love about the recipe tonight is that it is going to be an all-in-one pan recipe, so it's fantastic for the middle of the week. We're going to build it all in one pan, put a lid on it, let it cook for a few minutes, and then we're going to be heading to the dinner table to feed our hungry families. I hope you're looking forward to cooking with us tonight. So let's get started. You can see so many colorful, wonderful ingredients in front of me. Tonight's dish is shrimp and chorizo, loaded with vegetables and served up with some rice. We're going to cook the rice right in our pan. So I'm going to show you guys how to cut up some of these vegetables, and then we're going to be over to the stove to get this dinner cooking. So I've washed my peppers ahead of time, and now I'm just going to give them a quick chop. I'm going to show you two different methods to chop your peppers. The first one, cut off the top, cut off the bottom, work our way around, and then cut out the middle piece so you keep all the seeds with it. I'm just cutting these into big pieces so that they will cook in the rice. This is going to cook for about 20 minutes, so I don't want to cut it too small or they're going to get really mushy. Show you guys another alternative for cutting your peppers. You guys can decide what you feel most comfortable with. This one is a little bit tougher to control the knife, so just be careful. But again, the goal is to keep all of the seeds in with your pepper. If you've been watching any of my other cooking demos, you're going to know that when you're cutting an onion, leave your root end on. It's going to help hold your onion together while you slice it. We're going to be making this into large pieces similar to our peppers, and then into the pan it's going to go. I'm going to chop all of my tomatoes in half. Anytime you're using cherry tomatoes and you're cooking them into a dish, you do always want to make sure that you cut them in half. You never want someone to bite into a hot tomato or cook them long enough till they burst on their own, which is totally fine as well. Just make sure that they are cooked down. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and have these up, and then that's the last prep I have to do before we head over to the stove. I'm just letting my pan heat up a little bit before I add in my chorizo. The chorizo that I've purchased is already cooked chorizo, and it's just been chopped up. You can get uncooked as well, so just make sure that you're paying attention to your packaging if it needs to be cooked or not. In this case, even though it's cooked already, I am cooking it in my pan along with all my other ingredients, okay? So I just got a little bit of oil in the pan. Oh, the sizzle is like the best thing ever. Like, that's what you always want to hear when you're adding stuff into your pan, is to hear a little sizzle letting you know the pan is hot. That chorizo is spicy, but it smells amazing. So you can see this gorgeous color that's, the oil has changed. Some of that is the fat coming out of the chorizo. Some of it is the color that's changed in the olive oil that was in the pan. But yeah, that's going to be delicious. We're going to be cooking our rice in that in just a minute. The first thing I'm doing is I'm adding my seasonings, which is some chili powder, paprika, and a little bit of Italian seasoning. I'm adding it to my oil just because I want to do what's called blooming your spices. The reason I'm going to do this is sometimes paprika can be a little bit gritty if it doesn't have a chance to kind of cook out enough. So an easy way to remedy that is to add it to your oil and let it incorporate there, and then add in whatever other ingredients that you need to, which for me right now is my rice. So I'm just going to stir my rice, let it get coated in the oil, and then we're going to add in our peppers, our onion, and all of our other stuff as well. I added in my peppers and onions, and now I'm just going to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm not going to add too much because I am going to be cooking this in some chicken stock, and that's going to have salt as well. But I do want to make sure I take time to season it, okay? All right, so I'm just going to give this another little stir. You want to make sure your rice does not stick to the bottom or it will burn. And I just want to make sure that's all incorporated. And then I'm going to add in my tomatoes. You could also use canned diced tomatoes as well if you didn't have fresh ones, but I really like the taste that they add, so I'm going with fresh. Okay. Adding in 2 cups of chicken stock to my rice. It is 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of stock. Okay, and I'm going to give this a stir. I'm going to cover it with a lid. It's going to simmer for about 15-20 minutes till my rice is cooked. And just in the last 5 minutes or so, I'm going to add the shrimp in so that it doesn't overcook. And then you can see how much liquid has been absorbed as my rice is cooking. It needs about 5 more minutes, which is the perfect time for us to add in our shrimp. I am using 3140, which means there's 31 to 40 shrimp in a pound. So if you're ever looking at the numbers when you're at the store or if you're visiting the Kitchener Market and you want to know what those sizes mean, then it would normally mean that whatever number is going to be associated with how many it would take to make up 1 pound. Okay, I'm going to add the shrimp in, and then the final thing I'm going to add is my peas. They only need to be heated through, and then we are going to serve this up. My shrimp are all cooked, and now I'm just adding my peas at the last minute. They're just going to heat through very gently. Literally, I'm going to put the lid on this for a minute, and then we're going to serve this up. Here you have it, a beautiful 1 skillet dinner. Everything is all incorporated together. Look at those beautiful colors. The green peas just pop so nicely. And to finish it off, I'm going to take it to the table just like this. I'm just going to finish it off with some green onions. But before we sign off for the evening, I have to get in here and get a taste of all the ingredients, the spicy chorizo, the shrimp, everything all together. Let's see how it tastes. That is a tasty dish. It is like less than 30 minutes from start to finish. You can even speak. A gorgeous 30-minute meal midweek. Doesn't get much better than this. I have just a handful of dishes that I need to wash. I'm going to put this on the table just exactly how it is and serve it up family style. It is hearty, it's delicious, it's spicy, it's, well, what more could you want in a single pan for dinner? So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this recipe, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here next time for some more delicious food. Remember that the Kitchener Market is open. All the information that you need for a great market experience is on the kitchenermarket.ca website. If you'd like this complete recipe and some of the other ones that I've been doing for you guys, you can find it at mealswithoutmadness.com. Have a fantastic night. Happy eating.